And that means, what is organizational behavior? If you just recall, organizational behavior is the study of behavior and attitude of the people working together or working in an organization. And you know that organization is a place where more than two people works for achieving a particular goal. Otherwise, why should you assemble? Why should you become a group? This is a team spirit. So therefore, when you talk about organization, definitely teamwork, group dynamics, team building, that comes. So therefore, we have discussed concept of school or concept of organizational behavior, and in that context, team building or group dynamics. Now the question is, when in an organization, a group of people, means more than two people, a group of people are working. If they are not working in a cooperative manner, if they are isolated, then it may affect the organizational activities. The organization may not flourish, may not go ahead. So therefore, the manager, the leader, he or she must look to this point, that those who are working in a place, they must work in a group manner, in a cooperative manner, so that the achievement, the attainment of the organizational goal could be successfully possible. So now, for that purpose, the leader, maybe headmaster, maybe BO, maybe DO, maybe principal, the leader, academic leader or administrative leader, or the manager, as you call, he or she must motivate the workers, motivate the employees, so that the goal could be achieved. Therefore, motivation is very much essential in the context of management, in the context of organization of the people, organization of the people, so that we can achieve the goal. Now, what is that motivation? Before that, let me tell you, you are all, some of you might be doing some job, maybe teaching, maybe other than teaching, may not be working. But those who are working, you might be working as a teacher, or some position you must have hold. But somebody may ask you, why are you doing MA education through IGNOU? What makes you to do your MA education? That means there are certain forces in you. There are certain forces or conditions, maybe physiological, or maybe psychological, or social. Some forces that impel you, that compel you, that inspire you to do this MA. Maybe that I can acquire knowledge, or I aspire to get my promotion, or I can develop myself professionally. These are so many reasons. I do not know what is the exact reason for you, but there are some forces. Those forces motivate you. That becomes your motivation. If you etymologically or historically, if you look at this, motivation is a term which is derived from Latin word mover. Mover means to move, to go ahead. Therefore, those who are aspiring something, those who are very ambitious, I am a teacher. There are many instances working as primary school teacher or high school teacher. Because of that, because they are motivated, they upgrade their knowledge, they add their qualification, and become they got OES, OS. Even there are instances. My students are there. They were working as teachers, primary school teacher. They are BDO after getting OS. Their BDO, their OES, say headmistress or headmaster of the different government school or a BO. It is because you are moved. You are going ahead. You want to go ahead. So therefore, motivation refers to a logical scientific construct. For example, logical scientific construct. Construct means an idea. Construct means an entity. a psychological operation. So not that when I fix my aim to become, I must also see that I am capable of. Not that I can become an IAS officer. You can aspire, but you should ask yourself, am I competent to get it? So therefore, it must be logical. When you are moving towards to get something, you must be sure that I am capable of, or I have that capacity. If I try, I can get it. So therefore, it is a hypothetical process. Hypothesis means it is shrewd guess. You are guessing that I can do this, I can do that, but you cannot do, or you can do. We are not sure. So therefore, it is provisional. Hypothetical means it is not sure, it is provisional, tentative, the functioning of which is inferred from observations of behavior of human beings. Now, how can one know that you are motivated? From your performance. For example, let us take your case. Now you have gone to your school, returned from the school by 4:35 because you had the class from 7 to 9. Now, in spite of your busy schedule, with all tiredness, with all other personal activities, personal involvement, preoccupation, still you are attending the classes. Why? Also, most of you are women, female. Also, you have some other activities, home-related activity, family activity. But in spite of that, you do not bother for that. In spite of that, you are attending classes. So that why? I will get good mark. I will acquire knowledge from the teachers so that I can appear OAS, OES, something like that. So that motivates you. That is the driving force that impels you. Not that some teachers, some people are there. Oh, I am a teacher. Why should I go for all these? This is sufficient. So once you are self-satisfied, you will not go away. Thank you. That is how we feel. Therefore, in this context, I will tell you, simply we can say, motivation is the root of why we do what we do. So that's the root cause. So motivation is the root of why we do and what we do. Whatever you are doing, why are you doing? For example, somebody may ask you, why are you doing MES education? You are a teacher, or you are working. Now your answer is, I am motivated, I have some ambition, so therefore I am driven, I am pushing myself towards achieving that goal. Therefore, we can simply say, motivation is a condition which increases the vigor of activity. Now, what was not possible? What was not possible? Now it is possible because you have that vigor, you have that tempo. For example, let me give an example. I have experienced this long days back when there was in the village thatched the house, chala ghar. Sometimes it is set by fire. Niya lagi jaichi. The thing which was not possible on your part, it is possible. For example, 50 kilo, a packet having 50 kilo rice, it was not possible on your part to take it, to bring it to. Now it is possible because there is fire. So if it is not brought, there is nobody, let me take. You are trying your best, you are motivated. So that force is there. That is increasing your vigor, your strength. So it doesn't happen, it does not come always. Similarly, you are composing a poem. For example, you are composing a poem that uh, you have visited Chilika, you have visited Puri, Jagannath Mandir, Konark, something like that. Now, certain conditions might have compelled you or impelled you to compose a poem. So that sometimes out of frustration, many people compose poem. Out of satisfaction, many people compose poems. Therefore, sometimes it is told, कविता लेखा जाए नहीं, लेखी ही जाए. कविता लेखी हुई नहीं, लेखा ही जाए. Therefore, one of the poets, Hudson, he says, poetry is out of life, belongs to life, exists for life. Poetry is basically out of life. If there is no life, there is no poetry. If life is there, poetry is there. So life and poetry, they are the two sides of the same coin. Anyhow, so what makes, you may ask the writer, you may ask the poet, why did you compose this poem? Why did you write this novel? So there is a story that might invite, that might motivate them to write this. Anyhow, so we can say motivation is a stimulation for action. It stimulates, increases, it forces to do this. So like that, forces means positively, increases, drives, like that. One or two definitions I will tell you for your understanding. It is not in your material, but let me tell you, I have collected. One of the authorities, Lindsley, 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 what does he say about motivation? How did he define? Motivation is a combination of forces which initiate and sustain behavior. That means once you are motivated, once you are energized, nobody can stop you unless you have achieved your goal. For example, you must have experienced, your teacher has given the homework. You are a student of class 7, class 9. You are so engrossed. Your mother might be asking you, come, take your tiffin, take your meal. You said, oh, no, wait, let me complete my work. So much engrossed. That is your, what we can, so you are beginning, once you are making the beginning, starting, unless it is completed, you go on. So we call it sustained behavior. It will last till your achievement of goal is visible. Similarly, Sorenson, S-O-R-E-N-S-O-N, Sorenson, how did he define? How did he define motivation? Motivation is a psychological and physical condition, both. It is essential. Motivation is basically a condition. But what kind of condition? Sorenson says two conditions. One is psychological, it may be psychological or physical, or both. Psychological and physical condition that causes one to expand efforts. That means you are increasing, you are doing better, you are doing more. For example, earlier, for example, now you are not reading, but the more and more your examination comes, when the examination is approaching, then what do? You start reading. Oh, only 2 months are there. Let me read 1 hour. 1 month is there, 3 hours. Let me read. 2 days are there. 2 days are left for examination. Let me read 10 hours. So the hours to be devoted for your study, it gets increased. You are expanding your effort because you want to secure good mark. Therefore, I must continue. I must do my study. So therefore, expansion of effort. You are doing better, for better. Similar Johnson, motivation is the influence of the general pattern of activity indicating and directing the behavior of the organization or organism. The organism means people or individual. That means when you are, because when there is a need, according to the need you are proceeding. The need is to achieve the goal. So unless you have the goal, you are not motivated. For example, you have decided that I will go to Pondicherry in the summer vacation. So how much money will be required? Say 20,000. Now I will plan, because you are motivated to go Pondicherry or Shirdi, something like that. So this much amount is required. So you are saving. Now somebody may ask you, why are you saving every month 2,000? No. I must go to Shirdi. I must see. That motivates you to keep money, to save money. So therefore, this is a when there is a motivation, essentially there is a indication of direction of the behavior towards that achievement of goal. This is all about the concept of your motivation. Therefore, in your material it is given Now, in the context of organization, it is generally what do we mean by motivation? But in the context of our context is organizational behavior. Organization. In the organization, many people are working. Now, those people who are working, how do they treat themselves, himself or and others? As an employee, I must love myself. Also, I must cooperate and love other employees. Otherwise, the goal of the organization will not be achieved. So, therefore, in the context of the organization, let us see, as Hodge and Johnson, in page 38, Hodge and Johnson observe motivation in organizational settings refers to the willingness of an individual to react to the organizational requirements in the short run. In the short run means you cannot say to the headmaster that after 3 years I can do this. No, unless you are completing the course within stipulated time, how can the students face the examination? So therefore, in the organizational setting, you have been given a task by the headmaster as a leader. You are the teacher. You cannot say, the headmaster says within 7 weeks, within 7 days or in a week, you should complete this work. For example, midday meal program, how many students have attended every day for the month, you should do. You cannot say, no, I should be given 4 months, 5 months. No, very short period. Otherwise, how can you report to the higher authority about all these? So therefore, unless the workers, employees working in the organization, they are not cooperating, they are not, there is no fellow feeling, there is no interaction, nothing will happen. So nothing means your goal of the organization will not be achieved. For example, school is an organization, educational organization. If the teachers, they are not working together, there is no team building, there is no cooperation, fellow feeling, then what will happen? The objective of the school, for example, preparing the student for citizenship, making the school the center of community, developing the competency of the learners, developing positive attitude among the learners, that will not happen. Not only you are teaching mathematics, history, geography, content knowledge, subject knowledge, no, social behavior, also how can they become a responsible member, what are the different values required as a student in different context. They cannot learn because the student will say, when you say, the student will reply, sir, madam, sir, you are my all teachers, you are quarreling with yourself, among yourself. So what can you tell? Unless you are good, how can you make it? So therefore, we must motivate, the leader must motivate. When there is some problem, the headmaster at the head, the principal at the head, or the BO, DO in the education situation, they should come forward and settle down the problem like that. Anyhow, therefore, there are two categories of motive. One is physiological, three physiological, socio-psychological, and general. For example, physiological, food, shelter, roti, kapda, makan, building, some home is required, shelter. So that is basic need. Therefore, we are working. What for we are working? We are getting salary. How are we spending salary? You may have three-storied building, but minimum 1 room to 2 rooms is essential for me. So therefore, I am earning and spending for the education of my children, for the purchase of clothes, for food. That is physiological, and that physiological can help you to sustain your life. Therefore, they are universal. Unless it is for everybody. The behavior pattern related to motives are largely unlearned and innate. There is no need of learning, it is innate. No, the moment the child is born, nobody can tell the baby, oh, you should take water. It is automatic. The child should take water, like that, or milk, something like that. Even as social psychological, your prestige, position, and like that, cooperation, acquisition, or your security, status, autonomy, affiliation, achievement, dependence, aggression, power, all Everybody we require. For example, you are teaching. If you are not given the salary, you cannot teach. 1 month, 2 months, you can. Even myself, a teacher can teach 1 month, 2 months, not more than that, because your physical, your status is required. Somebody may ask you, may doubt. You are a teacher. You are not getting salary. That means you are not a teacher. Like that. So security is required. Therefore, pension scheme or some other benefits are there. Like that. Another is the general motive. The motives which are not included in physical and socio-psychological are, are coming under your gender. Anyhow, now in the context of your motivation, the terms need, drive, goal, this is a cycle. You can see the picture is given. Why are you motivated? Unless there is a need. Why did you do your MA education? There is a need. I will become a OS officer. I will become a OS officer. I will do my. I will apply for a senior teacher educator in diet, like that. So therefore, a need is a state of deficiency. Something is not there. Something is deficient. Something is missing. So therefore, that drives. That drive means that takes you to do something. So therefore, we can say a drive is action oriented and provide the thrust for need fulfillment. Unless there is a drive, the need cannot be fulfilled. For example, the need for food becomes the hunger drive. If there is no hunger, hunger drives you. Hunger makes you to search for food. So hunger is the drive. So drive helps you to achieve your need. Then you can achieve your goal. So goal is the end. So unless you are motivated, you will not enlarge your efforts, expand your efforts, and if your efforts are not expanded, you will not achieve your goal. So therefore, the education manager, the head of the organization, maybe principal, maybe headmaster, headmistress, has a key task to get the staff members to contribute activities that help to achieve the mission. So therefore, every organization has the objective goal. Now it is the lookout of the head as a manager or as a leader to see that all are working in a team manner, so that the goal can be achieved because all are motivated. So this is the concept of motivation in your educational situation or in your organizational situation. Now, there are different theories which can explain the concept of motivation. Basically, there are two theories. One is a process, another is your content. So now, content theory and process theory. So what is this content theory? Content theory and process theory. The content theory of motivation mainly focus on the internal factors that energize and direct human behavior. That means internal process, your requirement. Say maybe your some deficiency, maybe your promotion, maybe your status, like that. So in that content theory, we can discuss Maslow's hierarchy theory, hierarchical needs, then Alderfer's ERG. ERG means existence, then existence needs, related needs, and growth needs. That is the full form of ERG. Existence needs, then related needs, then growth needs. That is given by Adler first. Then Herzberg's motivator hygienic theory. So these are the three theories which we can discuss under your content theory. Similarly, what is process theory? Then we can have a detailed discussion. Process theory is another type of motivation. Process theories of motivation provide an opportunity to understand thought processes, mental processes, thought processes that influence behavior. For example, when you are thinking of doing your MA education through, after many mental exercises, many thinking, you must have joined. So why should I join? I'm working as a teacher. I am a woman. Can I get, if I do this, can I complete it? Otherwise, my money will be spent unnecessarily. It is a wastage of money, wastage of energy. After looking to every pros and cons, plus point, minus point, then you have decided, no, I'll do this. That is your process, mental processes. Under that process theory of motivation, it is included Adams' equity theory, Bloom's expectancy theory, goal setting theory, and reinforcement theory. So these are the different theories. We can just discuss shortly because for your understanding. For example, let us take the case of your under the content theory, Maslow. So this is a hierarchy, step by step, step by step. So beginning is your need theory, need. That is your physiological need. Food, water, shelter, like that. Sex also, physiological need. Then when that is fulfilled, then you can go for security and safety needs. Unless, for example, no one can feel safety, no one can think of safety needs unless he or she is having no food. So food, then you can go for safety. This is all there. Then affiliation, your recognition, status, something like that. Then esteem needs. That means let me do something. People should feel that you are something great. So you are estimated high. Prestige, prestige. Then last is your need for self-actualization. What is that self-actualization? Fulfillment of your, you have the capacity, you have the power, or you have something, you have some ability. If those abilities are fulfilled, then you are satisfied. That is something. For example, in Motochin, there are many people. For example, why many people? Let us take the case of your Taslima Nasrin. Taslima. She is a original, she belongs to Bangladesh. She is a doctor, physician, MBBS doctor. But she writes to novels for which the Muslim people declare to kill her. So therefore, she has left she has left Bangladesh. So what is she is a doctor earning good money, but why did she go for writing something? Now, that is the, when she writes, that gives some satisfaction. That is self-actualization. Also, some of you or many of you, you must be composing poem. When you have composed the poem and you have participated in the poem competition, and some recognized people, some renowned poets, they must have appreciated. Oh, good poem. When they have declared this is a good poem, how do you feel? Just imagine. Oh, I am. That is, we can, so therefore we can say this is the highest need. It is the desire to become what one is capable of becoming to maximize one's potential. What you want to be, you have the potentiality. If you have done something because of your potentialities and you are recognized, which you are capable of, then you feel satisfied. So that is why you are motivated. Similarly, Alderfer's ERG theory. So one G is growth needs. Everybody wants to grow. Development of competence and realize of potential. No, either anyone who doesn't want to grow. Today you are a teacher. Tomorrow you want to grow. I mean headmaster, headmistress, headmaster, then BO, DO, something like that. It is the you may or it may not. But everybody is motivated. That is growth. Then a relatedness needs satisfactory relation with others. You are working in a situation, may not be working. For example, those who are non-working, neither teachers nor in any job, you are in the home. You have your brother, you might have a sister, you might have mother, father, grandmother. So you must know how to interact among themselves, how to talk with them, how to behave. That means you want to be related. You must be a part of your family. Then existence needs. So therefore, physical well-being. For how can you live? So food is essential, clothing is essential, shelter is essential. Therefore, You must know it. I must tell it. One of the existentialist philosopher, Jean-Paul Sartre. Jean-Paul Sartre, he says, existence precedes essence. Existence precedes essence. First is existence. Let us live first. Then you are an engineer, you are a writer, you are a poet, you are a scientist. That is next. You cannot become a scientist without food, without shelter, without water, something like that. So therefore, first existence. Let you take not that lavishly, but minimum food is essential. So therefore, existence precedes essence. Existence is first, then essence. Similarly, under your content, Machiavellian theory, that is need for power. For example, it is a human tendency. It is a general tendency. Yeah. So it is a human tendency. What is that tendency? Need for power. So maybe sometimes in the family, wife wants power, husband wants power. Sometimes wife said, "You are always using your power. I must. I have also the power. 50-50, something like. Even in the school, the teacher says to the headmaster, "Sir, you should give me the power to speak something like that. It is a democratic country. You should give freedom." So power. Everybody wants. Need for affiliation. Affiliation, belongingness. Unless you feel you are working as a teacher in a school, unless you feel that that school is yours, if you say, "Oh, I am here for 5 to 7 years, I will be transferred," no. Unless, this is my feeling, I have always devote to it. I'm committed to that. What is that? Wherever I am working, that is my mother. Not only institution, that is my mother. Mother gives feeding. Because that institution where you are working, you are getting salary. Your life is there. So therefore, you must think that need for achievement. So everybody want to achieve something. What is achievement? Not I am talking of mark. Achievement means excellence. Excellence. Let me become a good teacher. Let me innovate some. You must have known NCRT, National Council for Teacher, National Council of Education Research and Training. Every year, it provides prizes to the teachers. For what? For what? For conducting research in new innovation, new areas. For example, in Odisha, many people have got for new experimentation. For example, how can you improve the spelling of the students, class 4, class 5? How can you make the students write alphabet correctly? New techniques. So therefore, that is when you have given the project and it is accepted and you are given the prize. How do you feel? It is a great achievement. It is a great achievement personally for you, also for your school. Not only for a school, not for you, but also for the Odisha. Oh, for that teacher from Ganjam, that teacher from Kotak, that teacher from Baleshwar. Oh, got it. So it is the proud moment for Odisha. Like that, it happens. So this is how. Then let us come to Herzberg's theory, hygiene factor. So you can understand this. For example, motivators, he talks about two factors. Um, uh, Hygiene factor, these are factors whose absence motivates. For example, if the school is not in a very congenial atmosphere, you will not know, you will say, "No, no, I will not do this." So therefore, anything which is very conducive, hygienic, then that will motivate you to work. Similarly, motivators, these are the factors whose presence motivates. If something is happening, cooperation, for example, in a school, if all are cooperative, if all the students are respecting the teachers, if there is very harmonious relationship, all these are the factors which help, which motivates you. I have seen when I was the principal in Koraput, B.Ed College of Teachers in Koraput, even not always, even sometimes we have worked, we have only 7 to 8 members, including myself. We have, during the time of admission, we were working for late night, 12, 1. Then when they are doing this, then I provide dinner. Not then this. Then the colleague says, "Sir, how can you adjust?" I said, no, all right, you are working for my institution. It is also my lookout to see. So therefore, it happens. So that is what your affiliation, that is what your how do you feel about your institution. That is motivator factor. That gives satisfaction. Anything which is not satisfying, you are not motivated. Another process theory, let's come to the process theory. Process theories explain how workers select behavioral actions to meet their needs and determine their choices. So therefore, that means process theory says that the workers must behave when they are doing some action. So what is that process we'll discuss. For example, one is your equity theory, equal. Equity theory, which refers to the individual's subjective judgment about the equity or fairness of the reward they got. For example, I have raised this point at the government level when there was discussion. I was not in favor of this Gana Shikha Karmi, contractor teacher. I said, this is my logic. That teacher is getting 50,000. He or she has done MA BD or BA BD or BSc BD. This student, he has or she has done BSc BD, BA BD, and why did she get only 15,000, 20,000? Also, she is working for 6 hours. So when the teacher who is working as a contractual teacher or your the different terms are schematic teacher, this is wrong. So then she might feel, oh, I am not equally treated. Why should I bother for the work? So no motivation. So equal treatment. That the formula is given in the next page. So what is the formula? Outcomes by a person, by inputs by a person is equal to outcomes by another person by input by another person. That means as much as time I am giving. Say for example, input. What is the outcome? My salary. I am spending 6 hours. For example, 10 to 4, 6 hours. And my salary outcome is my salary is 20,000. Another teacher, he or she is spending 6 hours, getting 50,000. It is not like that. So it is not equity. So therefore, equity is my outcome, my input. When it is equal to another's outcome, another input, then I will be satisfied. That means I am getting salary as he is getting. So if he is doing like this, why not I'll do? That is equity. Another is your expectancy theory. Expectation. What is that expectation? One of the most widely accepted explanation of motivation is given by Broom. That is expectancy theory. This theory means expectancy theory says that an employee will be motivated to exert a high level of effort when she believes. That means as a worker, you are all those who are teachers, as a teacher, as a worker, you can work when these conditions are, you can work, you are motivated to work when effort will lead to good performance appraisal. I am doing, I am coming in time, I am very punctual, but nobody takes care of me. The headmaster doesn't bother. When you say, sir, sir, teacher is coming late, I like that. No, it doesn't matter. Why did you come late? It is not like that. So effort will lead to a good performance appraisal. When you are doing good, it should be appraised. It should be evaluated properly. Now, in our college, we have PAR, Performance Appraisal Report, PAR. Earlier, it was a CCR, Confidential Conduct Certificate Report. So therefore, if a teacher is doing better, showing better performance, is it not my moral duty as the head to give good? Yes, excellent teacher participating in all these, showing better performance. So that is good. A good appraisal will lead to organization reward. Sometimes Governor Rajya Puruskar, something presidential award, something like that. Or sometimes also student, I don't bother for that. But when your real reward is for a teacher, the real reward is your students. When the students say, sir, you deserve this, but you are not giving. So that's sufficient. Oh, my students, when the students are around you, just think of the moment. the kind of satisfaction which you get that moment. This is my feeling. When my students are around me, say, sir, this class is very nice. That kind of satisfaction you will not get. You cannot measure in terms of money. Money comes, goes. Money comes and go. But the kind of happiness, the kind of satisfaction which you get in this context, in this situation, that is memorable. Memorable. I still remember my father was a primary school teacher, headmaster. He is no more there. Then he retired as the headmaster. But I was astonished. We all brothers, we are astonished that during the time of his retirement, the kind of happiness, the kind of felicitation he was shown. I was astonished. With मेहनत बसे की 10-12 किलोमीटर टोले की बाजार बजे, oh, the kind of for 3 days. But I was the principal, my brother was a professor, but no such kind of respect. So that was the best reward. So reward does not come automatically. Your performance, your activities, that will do. So therefore, the organizational rewards will satisfy the personal growth. I have seen many teachers, even contractual teachers, they are staying in the premises of high school or school. Nobody had told them. They are doing their kitchen garden. They are taking care of this, that, of each teach and bit of the school, taking more classes, helping the students. When somebody says, no, sir, you are getting 20,000. No, doesn't matter. I am involved. It gives me satisfaction. So that is how you feel. So therefore, motivation. Money is not always a question of motivation. Money is a part. I don't say no. But beside that, there are many people who are getting salary, high salary, but doing nothing. But there are maybe few. There may be few one getting less salary, but doing better social work, doing something, taking extra class. I have seen my student even in Barampur. She is a contractor teacher, but she after returning from returning from school, he goes to slum area for teaching. No free. Then once I met her. She said, sir, you have inspired us. So I am doing 20 students, 20 slum area students. They have no food, they have no dresses, they are not going to school regularly. They are earning money here and there. Like that. Then I said, best job. This is the best social service. Now there are many students. Why did I tell her name, not others' name? Sunita. Her name is Sunita. Then I blessed. Yes, this is the inherent happiness. This is the we call bliss, not happiness, bliss. So Sat Chit Ananda, that is Ananda. That is not happiness. This is not exact translation of Ananda, happiness. That is bliss. So therefore, we should go beyond. All right, I am working or I am not working. Let me do something for my country, for my society. Anyhow. So therefore, in the context of organization, it is the organizer, it is the head, it is the manager to motivate the staff members and teachers. The principal must strengthen employees' participation. There may be quarrel, there may be some misunderstanding, there may be difference of opinion, but we should not help this teacher to continue in that way. The headmaster will settle down. What is your problem? Let us come. We are all family. We are in a family. Our school is a family. So let us work together. Like that. Similarly, reinforcement theory. Reinforcing something, strengthening. The reinforcement theory found in Thorndike's law of effect. That means which is quite positive, which produces something, the consequence is better. That we do. So therefore, positive reinforcement is reward. Positive reinforcement rewards desirable behavior. For example, you are always sincere. I have practiced. Though teachers, I maintain a diary. In the diary, I write every day who comes in time. So in the annual function, I give a certificate with some reward for sincerity. So that is how a positive reinforcement. Similarly, in case of other employees. I have gone to some annual function in some schools, English medium schools. Also, they give cash prize to the class 4 employees, peon, something like that. So those who have not taken all the CLA, we are entitled for 12 days or 15 days casual leave. There are employees who do not take only 3 or 2 days. That organization, English medium school, they have for one CL, they give 500 rupees. So somehow, so this is a kind of positive reinforcement. Another is avoidance. That means if something is not good, you avoid. For example, sometimes there are some teachers, you are the headmaster, they will talk nonsense. So don't argue, the headmaster shouldn't argue, just avoid. Extinction, withdraw. Extinction is basically ignoring the people of subordinate. Forget it. So these are the different things. Another punishment, if somebody is doing nonsense, you give the punishment, like withholding the salary or writing for transport, like that. So this is how to manage. So then goal setting theory. Once you set the goal and to achieve the goal, you are motivated. So therefore, what are the factors? The employee must be committed to the goal. Not only setting goal is important. For example, for you, to do MA is not your goal. Your aim is to successfully to complete. So I will complete my MA education through IGNOU with A grade or with B grade. Not that I have admitted, oh, let us see what is happening. No, you must have clear-cut goal. And then you can accordingly plan how to get it. Then employee must believe that he or she is capable of performing. When you are working in the school or in the organization, other friends, other colleagues, they must be confident that, yes, the goal which she has set or we have set, we can achieve. Then the task involved in achieving the goal should be simple, familiar, and independent. But you have to do your activities to achieve the goal. If the task, activities, actions are very difficult, which is beyond your capacity, then don't do that, because you cannot achieve your goal. The goal setting theory is culture bound. Culture bound. Why? Your school, your organization, your bank, your post, any organization, it is in a social context. Every society has its own culture. You cannot go beyond culture. For example, you cannot discriminate in Indian culture, in Indian context. You cannot discriminate any Muslim and Hindu, because our is a secular country. For example, in the school, sometimes I've seen some teachers on the basis of caste, they make remark, oh, you belong to low caste, you belong. No, that is very bad. So within a culture where there are some poor students, there might be some rich students, you cannot, as a teacher, we should not discriminate. So our culture is humanity. We must respect every human being is a product of God, is a is a part of God. Everybody is a divine perfection. Vivekananda says, education is the divine perfection, manifestation of divine perfection already existing in man. That means immortal. Everybody is a divine perfection. Our task is, somebody is unable to understand, somebody is able to understand. Those who are unable to understand, that manifest, that Guru will help. So to manifest, to show, to demonstrate, like that. Anyhow. So therefore, now this motivation, what is the implication for educational management? Already I have told you that in the organization, in the organized education management, many people are there. They have the goal. If the people are quarreling with each other, if the people do not know how to achieve the goal, if the people working in a team, they do not know how to tackle the situation, how to do the task, so there will be problem. They will not be motivated. Therefore, if you want to increase the status of your institution, you have to simply identify your staff's motivation needs and make efforts. So therefore, the headmaster or the head, the organizer or the leader, he must identify who can do what? How can I motivate these people? How can those who are not motivated, what incentives will be given? What techniques will be used? So therefore, motivational needs simply mean what your employees need. For example, our we have our rules regulation. For example, a teacher is very sincere, and because whenever he remains absent, he takes CL. Now, for example, that teacher has no CL. She was coming or he was coming on the way. There is an accident. Can you say to that teacher as a head that you apply for CL? But you are sure that she or he, that teacher is never some kind of this. He never request for this unusual things, unwanted things. So now you say no. Okay, we'll manage. You are a very sincere teacher. So therefore, that will motivate that teacher. Oh, my headmaster has, when I had no CL, my headmaster has said like this. And then when the opportunity comes, the headmaster says, Madam, tomorrow is a holiday. Would you come that we can do something for the betterment of the, then that teacher will definitely say yes. Why? Sir, you have told me, you have given me that facility. You have helped me. I will do this. So this is how you have to manage. Therefore, as the head or principal, your role is, a responsibility to identify those needs and act to support them, to satisfy them. So therefore, there are many teachers, there are many workers, there are many employees whose needs to what you must identify, and accordingly you should facilitate for the achievement of the goal. Is it okay? Should I proceed to the next unit 4?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, in the context of organization, the members who are there in the organization, employees or workers, they must behave, they must have attitude. What is the attitude? Cooperation, fellow feeling, like that. So now, unless you manage yourself, therefore, when Muhammad was preaching something about Islamic religion, one of the audiences, he stood up and said, Mr. Muhammad, now yes, now you are talking about Islamic culture, now yes, we are very much impressed, but what Islamic culture says, binding together, living together, but in your family there is division. So first you take care of your family, then come to outside, then come to think of others. Then Muhammad realized, yes, my family is not intact, not together. Then he started. My point is, unless when I am a worker, you are a worker. If I have some deficits, if I have some minus points, how can I talk about your minus points, your defects? So therefore, there is a proverb: don't ask your country what country can do for you, but ask yourself every day what you are doing. This is the common sense. I'm continuing. Hey, lokota khai kharap hai, se lokota kharap hai, deshta khai dile am kale. Are tame niju pachar? You ask yourself, are you right? Unless I am right, how can I talk the rightness of others? So that therefore self-management. First you manage, then and education management will take its care. So as our minister says, law will take its own course. So first you take care of yourself. So therefore, let us discuss that self-management vis-a-vis educational management. So what is that concept? The concept, you must be knowing this. Self-management. Self-management is the ability to manage your personal reactions to responsibilities and challenges in work and life. For example, those who are married women, teachers, you are working here, you have small children, you might have mother-in-law, father-in-law. When you return from the school, your mother-in-law might be asking for a tea, a cup of tea. Your husband expecting something. Your son or your small child kid, he or she might be some, but you are the only one. So there is many possibility that you can get angry, you can get annoyed. Hey, you are doing like that. I am a man. How can I do all these? Do things like that? I am also a man. I am come from school. Nobody is understanding me. Now that means you should manage yourself very calmly and quietly. I suggest to my student like this: get angry, no problem. It is a basic emotion, instinct like that. So getting annoyed, getting angry, it is negative point, but it is human tendency. But don't expose that you are getting angry. Somebody is teasing you, somebody is making you irritated. You get irritated in a positive way. Oh, I know that you are telling that. Smile, doesn't matter. So positive. You take the negative always positively. You will see nothing, something bad will come to you. So that is the best self-management. So therefore, um, uh, so when you are this self, you are managing yourself. That self-management involves your time and adapting to changing situations. Definitely, your time and changing situation. Now, before four, before four, you are teacher. After four, you are a daughter-in-law. You are a mother. You are a wife. Something like that. So situation is changed. School ଥିଲା ଗୋଟେ ଶିକ୍ଷୟିତ୍ରୀ ଘରକୁ ଆସିଲା ବେଳକୁ କାହାର ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ କାହାର ମା କାହାର ନଣନ୍ଦ something like that. Similarly, male, till you return from the school, you are a teacher. The moment you come, you are a father, you are a mother, you are a brother, you are a son, something like that. Role you cannot show a teacher behavior to your father. So you would manage like that. So therefore, now some list is given. For example, time management. It is essential for the self-management. Prioritize activities. There are many works. For example, you in the morning you must do what are things today I have to do. So there are 12 works. Out of 12, I cannot do everything. Prioritize which is more important, today or tomorrow. It is a must. If it is delayed after 5 days, if I do, no problem. কোনটা আজি করে নিহাত দরকার করিবি, number 1 or order. Then এটা 5-6 দিন ঘুঞ্চা দিলে চলে না, like that. So priority, have confidence in self. Yes, I can do. It is possible on my part. Then accept challenges. So it is difficult, but accept challenges. So when you accept challenges, new ways of thought will come. We will think different. When you are facing challenges, you have to think. Thought process will come. Ready to experiment, conduct experimentation. My life, Gandhi said, my experimentation will life. He was experimenting not in laboratory, by himself. Ready to experiment, ability to take decision. Many decisions are to be taken. Whether my daughter will get married, if you have a daughter, whether my daughter will be get married, if married, how can I get a son, like that, son-in-law. In the school, which child will be sent to for debate competition at the state level, which child will be nominated for the essay competition, like that. Many decisions, maybe academic, maybe personal, maybe financial, many decisions. Then ability to negotiate. For example, sometimes you have as a teacher, for example, one of your colleagues has beaten a boy. Now the boy has reported to his father. The father has come and in a mood to do something to that teacher. Now as a colleague, you go to the parent. You request, please, let us see, discuss what is happening. Sometimes man commit error. So let us see. Now you are negotiating to make not you are trying to intermediate between the first party and second party. Then ability to accept constructive criticism. As I am telling, people will criticize you, doesn't matter. हाथी चले बाजार में कुत्ता भूखे हजार. That is the tendency. हिंदी कहतनी लोक तो कहिबे ताके कहला के अधिकार अछि, किंतु हमर we have the right to listen patiently, no reaction, like that. Be democratic in action, decision. Freedom, freely cooperation, respecting individuality, all their tolerance. So all their democratic values we must accept. Then accept change as an integral part of life. Change is the law of nature. What you are today, yesterday you are not. For example, Krishna Kumari. Yesterday she was Krishna Kumari. Today she is also Krishna Kumari. Name is same, but attitude is different, personality is different. For example, yesterday she got a prize, she was very happy. Today she has lost something, unhappy. So temperamentally she is different. So changes are there. Physical changes, mental process changes in mental processes, like that. Adapt to innovation. Adapt innovation. There are new things are coming. We have to accept. There is no to know. So we must say, we say, no. We have no to know. We have to accept. For example, nowadays, smart classroom. We have to accept. You do not know computer. Now you are knowing computer. You have to develop your ICT competency. For example, now we are talking about 5E model, icon model. This is innovation. So how to develop the competency of the students? There are different techniques. So you have to accept all these, because unless you do all this, then people will say, hey, this is very poor teacher. Now there are some self-management, reflection, self-awareness, planning, monitoring, time management, flexibility, self-appraisal. Every day you evaluate yourself. How correct I am. If that at that point I am not correct, so what could have been done? If this could have been done, next time I will do that. Similarly, independent learning. So self-management, independent learning, personal skill. These are three. So personal skills, uh, planning, monitoring, time management, flexibility, self-appraisal, time management, reflection. That is your independent learning. That will help you. Similarly, personal skills or goal skills, goal setting, self-appraisal, flexibility, planning, monitoring, reflection. All these are there. And there is no need of detailed study. You can understand that is very much helpful for your self-management. For example, let us take the case of reflection. You must go on making contemplation. We must think of why did it happen? Why did it happen? It should have happened. For example, you have witnessed, you have scolded a student who was not attentive in the class. Again, when you come to the common room, you are thinking it should have not happened. I have given much pain to the child. So again you are going back and telling to the same student, oh, don't worry, I am a teacher for your betterment. I have told you, don't feel otherwise, like that. Then this self-management, why it is essential? This self-management is important because this is a technique which helps the individual to be successful in her life. If everybody want to be successful in his life or her life, then if that is sure, if that is a must, then you have to manage yourself because you want to be a successful individual. Now that there are different techniques which have been written here. You can learn to cope with stress. Many times you are in tension. For example, from the public side, from the headmaster side, from the colleague side, from the student side, but you should be very calm and quiet. So therefore, that will manage. Otherwise, you will be irritated. When Bhagavad Gita says, क्रोध सम्मत रागी गले सब मतिभ्रम हम एमती कथा कहीदेवा सो निजर सम्मान आत्मसम्मान जीव. So therefore we must be very careful how to cope with the stress situation, conflicting situation, develop your self-esteem and personal confidence. Maybe the situation may be very difficult, the situation is very odd, but we shouldn't lose our confidence. Yes, let me have failures, but time will come, I will be succeed. Therefore, failures are the pillar of success anyhow. So that confidence must be there. Develop effective strategies to cope with the conflicts. There are many conflicts. So how to manage? What is conflict? When the situation, there are many situations which you could not decide which will be done. So conflict. For example, and after you have got job, engineering, medical. So for admission, not job, you have got intimation to get admission into medical and engineering. Now you couldn't make a decision. Should I go for engineering? Should I go for medical? Something like that. Conflict situation. Similarly, develop positive attitude study. So always read some, because we are all teachers, because you are workers. Also, how to deal with my human beings. I am a human being. Other colleagues are also human being. How to deal with them. So therefore, not only study means those which we call satsanga. What is a satsanga? Not only people. Satsanga means spiritual books. For example, one of the spiritual books I must suggest you is your Chirantani. You must read in Odia. Chirantani, Srima, it is translated into Odia. What is that book about? Only question answer, only question answer, only question answer. One married lady who was depressed, she was asking the questions to the mother, and the mother is replying, in this situation you should do this, in this situation you should do this, in this situation you should do this. So that will give some better insight how to come out of the conflict situation or the tense situation. Similarly, if you get an autobiography of a yogi, you must read an autobiography of a yogi. That is very spiritually very helpful. Anyhow, so therefore, then develop positive attitude study. Be patient. Learning and academic skills develop gradually. Sometimes we lose patience. Oh, it will not happen. Oh, my patra bhul jauchi. So many times my students come to me, sir, পরীক্ষা আসলে পয়েন্টটা সব ভুল যাଉଛି, সেই পয়েন্টটা লাগো এই পয়েন্ট ভুল যাଉଛି, সেই পাঠটা এই পাঠে সমান লাগুଛି. Then I say, once, this is my personal feeling. Once a student came to me in when I was the principal in Koraput, a BA student, she girl student. She said, came to me. She was crying, weeping. Then I said, what has happened? No, sir, this paper has gone. I could not do better in paper one. I will drop it. Then I said, have you decided to drop it? Drop the examination? Then she said, yes. Then I said, I replied, okay, you have decided. This is hypothesis. You have decided. You will drop. Now think that you are dropping. So please appear the examination. Feel that you are dropping. Already you have decided to drop. So please appear the examination. Now what will happen? I said 1 year loss means many loss. In the meantime, there may be job. In the meantime, you can get married. There are possibilities, hypothetical. So 1 year loss means time is very important. So therefore, what can my paper is not good in paper one? Then I said, don't cry. Rather, that time should be spent on next papers. Paper 2, paper 3, paper 4, paper 5. There are many papers. So if you increase 2 marks, whatever. For example, in paper 2, you are expecting 65. Now do better 67, 68 it will come. So 2 to 3 marks in rest papers, then it will be condoned. The losses in paper 1 will be full, come from other papers. So that way she was convinced, she believed me, then she appeared. You cannot believe, she got 80%. Then when the result was published, she came to me, sir, so I was committing a blunder. So you have suggested me. Yes, we have experience. From our experience, we are telling, you have prepared for the examination and you could not write accordingly. But the teacher who is evaluating the paper, he is not coming prepared. He will see your grammar, English is correct, some facts is written, then he will give you mark. Doesn't matter. Anyhow, so therefore, maintain healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle, jiban charja. So organic food, nowadays we're talking about meditation, your morning walk, laughing club, attending like laughing club, so that when you are engaged in some activities, morning walk, your meditation, yogic practice, Patanjali yoga, yogic practice, anulam bilam, something like that. That gives a better way of living. So therefore, get engaged. You are working as a teacher, doesn't matter, or you are not working, but you must have we call it jivan charja, lifestyle. So normal things, don't take spices, much, something like that, I will not tell you. Healthy life, reward yourself with time off from study. When you find there is time, there is vacation, there is holiday, so make study, either some spiritual books or basically life related. For example, Mo Poti Mo Devata. That is Lolita, about your Shastri. So, as a wife, she has narrated her experiences about Shastri and how to the last point. So, Shastri was very honest to the point. She has narrated how many instances where her husband has shown honesty. Anyhow, so when you read all these books, autobiography or biography, we can get some inspiration like that. That inspiration can help us in uh, our existence. So therefore, implication for educational management, that's self-management. So life is not smoothly run. There are many ups and downs. So how to face the ups and how to face the downs, that you have to know. So therefore, otherwise, if you are yourself as a teacher, for example, or you are working in the bank, you are working in an office, if yourself you are not stable, getting irritated, then when you are going to your workplace, if you are a teacher, you will be telling something nonsense to your students, you will be getting irritated with students, you will not be having good cooperation with your coordination with your colleagues. Sometimes out of anger, you can your tongue can slip. You can use some words which is not expected, unwanted, so like that. So therefore, when you are in the educational situation, first your self management. When you are managing yourself, you can develop positive attitude. That positive attitudes will be reflected in the educational situation. So therefore, it is written here, the common stress symptoms, these are stresses. You will read. So therefore, uh, there are some ways that you may try to manage your stress more effectively. How to manage your stress? Try to identify the sources. Which is the sources of stress? When that source is closed, your stress is closed. Once you identify the source stress, then determine how to avoid. For example, always your headmaster is annoying you. That is a source. For example, then what can you do? So avoid the headmaster. Don't go to the headmaster. Talk less. Forget about when the headmaster says something, you just close your eyes and think about God. Something like that. So that is given there. Also, in this context, your social skills are important. You must get involved in some social activities. So, social skills and self-development. Social skills training is general term for instruction conducted in areas that promote more productive and positive interaction with others. That is a more important skill. How to interact if you are in the stress. So you cannot manage yourself. When you have lost your self-management, then how can you interact with others? So you will withdraw from others. So your colleagues will ask you, request to come. You say, no, I am not mentally happy. Don't ask me. Like that. So therefore, positive interaction with others, etiquette. What is meaning of etiquette? So approaching others in social acceptable ways. So how to request for permission? For example, you want to go to your home after 2 p.m. But the school is closed at 4. You can, without informing the headmaster, you cannot go. When the headmaster says next day, so you are not taken permission. Now who are you? Why should I take permission? That teacher is going, she is going, I will go. No, it is not like that. We must be very sociable. Sharing materials. For example, you have a book that another colleague is in need of that book. She could not or he couldn't get it. Then you can say, oh, bhai, that book is with me. Please take it. Now sharing. Similarly, appropriate classroom behavior, work habit. Sometimes there are many teachers who come late. Though they are sitting in the class, your common room, they don't get. No, it is very. Also, when the moment you make entry into the classroom, greet the student. Hello, how are you, my students? How are you? Very, please stand up, sit down. So like that, we call it warm up session. Let the student feel you are something different. Listening to the students patiently. That student will be telling something. That student will tell you. Then you say one by one. Please, I will listen to everybody one by one. Attending to task. following directions. For example, the headmaster will tell you after the class, please, you have a leisure, please do this library work. Something like direction is given. Accepting consequences, accepting the consequences of one's behavior. If you committed your wrong, if punishment is there, you have to accept because this is my fault. I must accept it. Similarly, better ways to handle frustration, anger. What are the ways? Continue to counting to 10 before reacting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that means it is a technique. So when you are counting from 1 to 10, your anger will come. Now you can get the time, your anger will be less. Distracting oneself to a pleasurable task from 1 to. Now when somebody say like this, you can think of God, you can think of happy situations. Using internal dialogue to cool. Now you are talking yourself internally. Oh, why should I get in? And not telling outside, thinking internally. So therefore, then acceptable way to resolve conflict with other using words instead of physical contact. So and not physical word. I am sorry, like that. Learning and using ways for resolving conflict. There are different ways. Conflict when if there is some conflict, now you can go to that teacher, embrace. So sorry, sir, like that. So these are there. I will not. Then practice asking for help. So that is there. You can practice accepting feedback. What is feedback? Knowledge of result. When you know the result, so now those results will be practiced. For example, appreciate the fact that someone has taken the risk for giving you feedback. So when somebody is telling you effect, how much risk he had taken, how did he collect, and telling about, then you must be thankful to him. So you must develop positive attitude. Be open to new ideas and new ways of thinking. When something new is coming, for example, in my time, I do not know what has happened to you. In my time, in our mathematics, matriculation, class 11th, 10th, there was no say Vedic mathematics. Nowadays, Vedic mathematics has been introduced. So therefore, we must accept, we must learn from others. So what is that Vedic mathematics? Like that. So open-minded. You must accept the new ideas. For example, you cannot say, no, why should I go for adopting 5E model? Only introduction, presentation, application, that the behavioristic approach, I must accept. No. When the new things are because every moment there is an explosion of knowledge. Every moment. Within a few seconds, new knowledge comes. So you must know. Otherwise, the students will underestimate. Oh, my teacher doesn't know. Man, the students are exposed to internet. So therefore, you must know. Feel free to accept or reject all. So somebody may accept you, somebody may not accept you. Feel free or doesn't matter. If I have done good, people will accept. If people do not, if people reject me, that means I have some problem. Like that. So practice giving constructive criticism. So how? Stay focused. Then keep tempos down. Don't get annoyed. Sometimes you talk in a very high speech. No, calm down. So use a suggestive approach. Bhai, something. Calm. I have told you. We are all friends. Like suggestive. Be sincere. Like that. All are there. Practice receiving compliments. That is very. Don't feel embarrassed and brush it up. Don't feel somebody telling. Let them tell. Don't get it seriously. Never counter it with something. Don't quarrel. He has said something, you are telling him different. So that will continue. So there will be no solution. When somebody says ill of you, remain silent. ଜଣେ କହିବ ହେ ଏଟା ବାଜି ଟିଚର ଭଲ ପଢଉନି ପଇସା ଖାଉଛି, remain silent. If you say ହଁ ଆପଣ ଖାଉଛନ୍ତି ଆପଣ, so it will continue, it will mount. So no solution. So better silence is the best. Aurobindo says silence is the best answer to all problems. So don't be arrogant. Sometimes arrogant. Why should I go? That is he has done, or that headmaster told me I will not go. Because we are working in an organization where in a group situation, we must be very careful. Smile and thank this is the best way. Always smile. When somebody is talking negative, positive, okay, so it is okay, like that. Practice giving compliment. Use simple language. Smile look. Using flattered language. Sometimes Oh, sir, you are very Jnani, something you are like that, you tell. Then there are few social skills that are listed below. It is there, I will not talk, you can understand social skills. And then steps to follow the teaching social skills. So one is your select the students who need training in certain skills. You assess who is cooperative, who is not to take speaking well. There are some students who do not do like this. So to identify them and give training properly. Identify powerful reinforcers that will motivate the student to attend the lessons and sometimes also when I was a student, I did not like Sanskrit. Similarly, there are many students, you must have also, there are many students, they do not like some subject or mathematics, Sanskrit, Hindi. Now we have to motivate them. How? We can tell these are the benefits of the subject. We can tell. He may accept, he may not accept, but we must try our best. What is the importance of that subject? There are some students, they will not bother for that. But we must tell. Identify and specify the definite target behavior to be taught. Now, always I practice. You are teaching mathematics, you are teaching history, you are teaching geography, any topic, anything. Now, your period is 45 minutes. What can you do? Now the bell is wrong. Only 1 second or 2 seconds. My student, today I taught you what is that? Now this. Now how can you make use of this? What is the value you learn from? Always, always link the topic, the lesson with a value. So value injected. So therefore, let the students know that this is not the knowledge only for getting a certificate, not just only to face the examination, but also it is useful for value like that. Therefore, there are for all the purposes we have to manage the stress. For stress management encompasses techniques intended to equip a person with effective coping mechanism for dealing with psychological stress, with stress defined as a person's physiological responses to an internal and external stimuli that triggers. For example, when you are in a stress, physiological, psychological, sometimes you get angry, your hands are, your facial expression is something different. Your physically you are not stable. So these are symptoms. Therefore, we should not be stressful. We must avoid. Then how can we become less stressful? How can you manage that? So there are different techniques. For example, transactional model. Stress results from imbalance between this. So therefore, to develop an effective stress management program, it is first necessary to identify the factors. So therefore, we must identify and we must conduct how to, you must know how to overcome the situation so that it can. Similarly, health realization, innate health. For example, if I get stressed, my health will be affected. I will not do like that. Also, there are other techniques like autogenetic cognitive therapy, conflict resolution, exercise. For example, autogenetic training. You must feel unless who is getting tensed, who is getting stressed. You are. So therefore, you must feel that. Then when you feel that, then you can think of how to overcome that. There stress balls. Sometimes you must go for best is your meditation. That is the best. Spend some time, at least 5 minutes, remain silent and concentrate. This is what between two eyes. This is your turiya. So that is you must keep in all these in there. Concentrate on God or a light, so that you will find you do this practice of meditation in the evening time. You will find after 1 month the benefit of meditation. You will be very less, you will be telling less, you will not be no, unnecessarily you are not talking something like that. So this is how, if your stress is managed, you can manage yourself very perfectly. And when self-management is there, this will lead to the positive attitude, and we can our goals of the organization can be achieved. So this is all about your block one. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now Already time and again, here and there, I have told you that organization can run if there is a leader, and the behavior of the different members of the group can be handled properly if there is a good leader. So therefore, leadership behavior is very much essential in the context of your organization. So an organization can run smoothly, can achieve its goal if the leader is effective. So therefore, effective leadership is essential. So how can the leaders help the situation in the organization? Leaders have ability to bring change, either positive or negative. Therefore, leadership is a quality of great importance in today's time. Therefore, what is leadership? Let us understand. I have collected some definitions, two or three definitions I'll discuss with you. One of the definitions given by Terry, G.R. Terry, T-E-R-R-Y, Terry. What is leadership? Leadership is an activity of influencing people to strive willingly for group objectives. Now we are working in a group. When you are working in a group, there may be conflict. There may be objections. This man will not like that man. If somebody is told by that man, this man may not accept it. So there is objection. Therefore, as a leader, you have the capacity to influence. When somebody is not agreed, you can say, what is the problem? Why are not agreed? You tell your opinion. When that man who is not agreed, when that man told that his opinion, then you can say, all right, it is acceptable. But in this context, it is not acceptable because these are the reasons. So as a leader, you are doing. Similarly, Conch and Donnell, leadership is influencing people to follow in the achievement of a common goal. Already I am telling and reiterating, goal is common because there are team of people, there are group of people. So your goal is not, should be my goal. For example, in a school, there are 10 teachers. So goal is one. What teacher one says, teacher two says the same thing, third says something, same thing. So therefore, common goal. So in order to achieve that common goal, somebody must be influencing. It is not that easy as I am telling. There are 10 teachers, 10 minds, 10 human beings, 10 thought processes, 10 mentality, 10 attitude. May not there may not be one. There may be crushing. There may be conflicting. So you as the leader, you can sit together, then you can settle down like that. Similarly, Tannenbaum and Wessler and Masianaki. Leadership is interpersonal influence exercised in a situation and directed toward the attainment of specialized goals. Same thing. Always goal is important. Whose goal? Goal of the organization. How can that goal of the organization be achieved? When the people, employees working in that organization, they are one. They are cooperating. There is a team spirit. There is fellow feeling. There is collaboration. So therefore, if there is no collaboration, there is no cooperation, there is no fellow feeling, it is the duty of the leader to bring that collaboration. So therefore, now the question is the headmaster, principal in the college, headmaster in the school, is the headmaster capable of doing all this? Does the head possess the ability to influence? If yes, then he is a leader. So he has leadership quality. So therefore, leadership is always a question of influencing other people. Now, why should you influence other people? The behavior of other people. So when the other people are influenced, then you can give direction. And when the direction is positive, then there is the achievement. It is possible to achieve the goal of the organization. This is what your leadership is. Now, In the concept of leadership, we have support or influence, voluntary effort, goal achievement. Three things are there. These are triangle. Now, sometimes it is understood leader and manager, they are same. Mostly it is understood same, but there is difference. Now you can see people assume that a manager and a leader play the same role. Role is play, but there is difference. What is the difference? Let us see. A person emerges as a leader. A person emerges as a leader. The question whether he or she will be or will not emerge as a leader always depends on a number of situation factors. That means whether your headmaster is a leader or not, that depends upon the situation. So therefore, but a manager is always put into position by appointment. So now it is appointed. Somebody is manager, but the leader is not appointed. It is ability. If you are able, you can become leader. But if you are able, but you are not appointed by officially, you are not a manager. A leader always has some informal power. So informal power, that is the ability to influence, that influencing ability. But the manager is always put into his position by appointment. You are appointed, rank manager, like that. A leader generally seeks those very objectives which are the objectives of the follower. That means a leader is always with the group. If the group has decided this is the objective, then it is your goal. But there is mutuality in objective between the leader and the follower. But a manager seeks those objectives which his or her subordinates do not regard as their own. So in case of manager, because he is appointed, he has the position, so his goal may not be the goal of others, members of the team. Now it is imposed. The manager says this is the goal. The employee says no, we don't accept this is the goal. So there is difference. Now we can see there are 12 differences between the manager and the leader. Managers administer, leaders innovate. Leaders are mostly academic, so in the experiment, innovate new ideas. The managers administration. Managers ask how and when. Leaders ask what and why. So why should we do? What are the things to be done? What are the resources available? Like that. But manager says how and when. How to do and when to do. Managers focus on systemic reform. Leaders on people. So system means task. Manager is task oriented, product oriented. Your leader is people oriented, human oriented. Managers do things right. Managers do things right. Leaders do the right things. Managers do things right. How the things will be will be done in a right way. That is the task of manager. But leaders do right things. Leaders feel this is right, we will do this. Then managers maintain, leaders develop. Managers always very position, so he maintains dignity, but leaders develop. They are growing, they are accepting people. Managers rely on control, leaders inspire trust. Managers rely on control. That means how to control, how to govern with all position. Leaders inspire. Only those who are leaders. For example, the headmaster may be manager, but when he inspires, my dear teachers, very friendly, he inspires, you should do this, you should go and participate. Then he is leader, inspires. Then managers have short-term perspective, whereas leaders have long-term. So those who are managers, they talk about 1 year, 2 days, 5 days, 1 week, 1 month management. But leaders for 5 year, 10 year, 1 year, long-term planning. Managers accept the status quo, position. I am manager, you have to do mean like this position. Leaders challenge the status quo. Now, those who are leaders, sometimes many teachers, when the headmaster says, I am the headmaster, I have said, then you may say, who has what kind of headmaster you are? You are not doing the things rightly. You are telling like this. You are very adamant, something like that. Managers have an eye on the bottom line. They always, whether the people are working, always giving punishment or some threatening like that. Leaders have an eye on the horizon, parallel, because we are all same. So, for example, sometimes there are headmaster, the head, principal. They say, "You are minded colleagues. You are working under me." Just see. Another one says, "You are working with me." Working under me means manager. Working with means leader. When the headmaster says, "We are working," you are working with me, that means we are all one. So that is acceptable. Managers imitate, leaders originate. So you have seen the position of others and imitated, but leaders they originate new things, innovate something like that. Managers emulate the classic good soldiers. Leaders are their own person. So just like soldiers, policemen, very rule governing, but leaders have their own imagination. They feel that what I am doing, it is my own, and this is best. Managers copy and leaders show originality. So managers they copy, imitate, but leaders they are doing original work. So in the diagram it is there. Quotas in distinction between managers. For example, in terms of three basic tasks. In terms of three basic tasks, your quotas have differentiated between manager and leader. For example, the first task is deciding what need to be done. Deciding what need to be done. What is about manager? Planning and budgeting. So this is the how it is to be done by manager. Then in case of a leader, setting a direction. Now leader is giving a direction. Now you people you can do. So therefore, manager is coping with the complexity. Leader is coping with the change, because the change is the law of nature. But your manager is very rule governing man. Second task is your creating networks and relationship. Creating networks and relationships. See, in case of manager, organizing and staffing, structuring jobs, and reporting relationship to the efficiently implement plan. This is the task of the manager. In case of leader, what is the task? Aligning people to the vision, emphasizing communication. Now the leader, he inspires, he takes the people into credibility, he empowers, like that. The third task is your basic task is your ensuring people do the job. So this is a task. But how does the manager do? Manager is controlling. So to get the job done, the manager is controlling and problem solving. But the leader does motivating people. So there is no controlling, motivating democratically. So therefore, we can say this is the difference between leader and manager. Now, leadership as a process and product. How? Because leadership is very much essential in our educational management and in the context of organizational behavior. So therefore, leadership is a question of influencing. So how it is a process and product? As a process, leadership entails perceiving when changes are needed and influencing and facilitating a group's efforts through non-coercive. Non-coercive means there is no punishment, there is no imposition. So you are free. So the process, it is a process where the leader is facilitating without any coercion, without any punishment. This process should lead to the accomplishment of six generic leadership tasks. What is generic? All these six tasks they are included. They are included in one group related to each other. So what are those six? Inspire a shared vision, That means in the group, because organization is a place where more than two people are working. So 4 or 5 people are working. Every people has a vision. Number one teacher has a vision. Number two teacher has a vision. Number three. Now the headmaster or the education head, he inspires. You share your view. You share a view. Then we can discuss. Then foster unity, collaboration, exercise power effectively and empower others. Then third, exert influence outside the group in order to set the right context outside the group. Establish an environment conducive to learning. So that, for example, what conducive means? Congenial, effective, facilitating. Establish an environment conducive to learning. That means if there is quarrel, if there is no cooperation, that will affect the learning. So therefore, relationship between student teacher, relationship among the students, relationship between teacher and headmasters, that should be cooperate so that environment is good. Satisfy the work related needs of the members of the group as individuals. So now we are working, 4 or 5 people are working, but you should work not individually. You may share individually, but once it is decided in the group, we must accept it. So like that. Then attributes of as a project, as a product. This is as a process, as a product, result. As a product, leadership is viewed as a set of qualities. That means when you are a leader, what are the qualities? If those qualities are not there, you cannot become a leader. The quality that leaders must possess. For example, your influence quality, your tolerance, your intellectual ability, like that, creative ability. When an individual behaves in a way that others in the group, organization believe will help them achieve desired goal, that individual is seen as a leader. That means the ability to influence others. That will help in getting the goals realized. Then attributes of leader vis-a-vis education system. Now, what are the attributes? Characteristics, qualities. Number one is adaptable, adaptable and open to change. The leader encourages and accepts suggestions. Suggestions from whom? From the workers, from the teachers. So what should be done? How can the problem be solved? So this is not only the business of the head, not the manager. So also we must equally work together. He must inspire to participate. Insightful. So the leader reflects on the relationship among events and quickly grasps the meaning of complexity. Now, totally the head put the things in the discussion as a whole, then discuss. Team building, working together, willing to accept responsibility. Everyone should be responsible for taking the duties willingly. Motivate others. The leader create an environment where others want to do their best. So when the leader is motivating the colleagues or the workers, then this everybody will try to do the best. Then communication. This that means listening to the uh, people in the group. The leader listens closely to people at work and organize. The visionary. The leader looks into the future. That we call futuristic outlook. Futuristic outlook. The leader looks into the future and creates a new way how to meet the future demand. For example, in the school, gradually the number of students are increasing. If the number of students is increasing, then the number of classrooms might not be sufficient. But when you have written to the higher authority, but no, the classrooms are not increased, then at the head you can say, so morning shift, day shift we can do. So because there is the rooms are fixed. So how can you manage morning shift, day shift, like that? Vigilant. Networking relationship. The leader develops cooperative relations among the individuals. Confident, accepting the self planning. Decision making, the leader makes timely decision. For example, the examination is conducted in the month of November. You cannot publish the result in the month of February, March, 3 months for no, immediately, so that it will help the students who have done best. If those who have not done best, how can they best? Where is the problem? We can discuss. Then delegating, the leader cannot do all the works, so power can be distributed. So the leader appropriately and effectively assigns the responsibility and authority. Then ethical, moral conduct. The leader acts consistently with the principles of fairness and right. So the headmaster should not be impartial. Then mm, another additional 11, tolerance, ambiguity, courageous, risk taker. The headmaster will take a risk, initiating. The leader frequently introduce new ideas introduced, achievement oriented. How can we achieve more? Persistent, consistent. The leader continues to act on beliefs despite unexpected. We know that there will be problem. The headmaster will appraise that if we are going to do this, the local MLA, the politician may influence, but we will do it because this is good for our students. Persistent. Conflict management. There may be some confusion, there may be different opinion, but we must, the head must settle down. Tolerant and frustration. So when you are doing something, the achievement will not be at your doorstep. It may take time, so you should not frustrate it. When the teacher says, "Sir, it will take time. It is not possible." Now the head can no, doesn't matter. And now the head can tell an old man within 15 years he can cut the mountain and bring the water to the village. So why not we can do. So sources of inspiration, committed to common goal. So we must be committed to what one the goal is fixed by all the members, we must be committed. Then stress management, the leaders effectively deal with the demands of high pressure work situation. So because every teacher is a person having some personal problem, when those problems are there, now the head can say, all right, please share me your personal problem, what gives you some tense, why are you stressed. Now we can discuss. Using appropriate leadership style, there are different styles we will discuss later on. So appropriate leadership style can, for example, nowadays in my time we have we were accepting democratic leadership style best, laissez faire, say autocratic. Nowadays the best leadership style is transformational. Transformation, who the leader who can change, who can bring about deserved changes in the institution, that is transformational leader. Sensitively respect, we must be very sensible. Leader shows genuine concern for the feeling of others. For example, when somebody, one of the colleagues has some problem, we must discuss with her, we must behave in such a way that she will feel that as if we are all the members of her, like that. Then characteristic of leader in the education system. When the leader is working in the education system, maybe school, in the college, what are the qualities, characteristics? Set the number one is set the pattern and guide the outcome of cooperative action. So pattern direction will be given by the head. Guide education programs. There are different education programs. For example, preparation of timetable. For example, conduct of annual function, organize annual function. For example, field trip. So in which month, who will do that? So that planning will guide the leader. Give common understanding to common purposes and goals. Now, what are the goals? For example, you are teaching science. Now the headmaster can ask you, you are teaching oxygen. What is the goal of teaching? Why are you teaching oxygen to the students? Now, how it is related to our school situation? Now you can make produce cohesiveness, without which cooperation is impossible. That means you, at the head, you must bring all the members into one. That means united we stand, divided we fall. So we must be united, not divided. Otherwise, if we are divided, our school will be collapsed. We cannot achieve the goal. Uh, Communicate with all personnel with a sense of mutual. All personnel means Your school staffs, community, your BO, DO, your members of the committee, all should be in a good position, good relationship. Generate enthusiasm for projects and inspire working toward the completion. Sometimes many you must be doing project. For example, science competition, for quiz competition, or your science project, or mathematical Olympiad. So the head will, as a leader, will inspire. Oh, we'll do this. We'll bring good name to our students, to our school, like that. Resolve the differences which frequently arise in growing organization. Already I have told you, sometimes the three or four teachers, they are not talking among themselves. They tell about that, they tell against each other. So now, as the leader, you will not allow them to do all this. So you must resolve. Then lead by example and inspire. This is more important because you are the head, you are the leader. If you have no ability to exemplify, for example, you are sincere, you talk less, you are very genuine, you are very gentle, you are very mutually cooperative, then you are exam. Then other teachers, oh, what the headmaster is, what the principal is, how dynamic is, how much work he doing every day. So that will be the example. So therefore, the leader should be an example setter. That then last is contribute to the group by advancing useful suggestion. Always we must provide suggestion, constructive suggestion, so that our institution will be better, our organization will be better. So now there are different principles of leadership. So one is know yourself and seek self-improvement. First you know yourself and how can you improve yourself. That is first principle. Second is be technically proficient. As a leader, you must be you must know the techniques. So how to deal with different situations. Therefore, technically proficient also translates into possessing the ability to delegate the responsibility to various members. Because you cannot do everything. You have to delegate the power. You have to give the power, assign the power, activity, responsibility. So be you must be technical sound, means you must know who can do what. For example, this teacher can do better in dramatic. This teacher can do better in discipline, mental discipline, like that. Then seek responsibility and take responsibility for your action. So you must be responsible for your whatever you are doing. You must be responsible. Whenever some teacher do, I believe it. So minded teachers, whenever you commit a responsibility, it is my responsibility because we are one. Anyone committing mistake, that is the mistake of the school or organization. So we should be very careful. We should not do like that. Make sound and timely decision. So this is one of the principles. So the decision which you are taking must be sound, must be useful, must be purposive. Therefore, in time, in the right time. Then set the example. You must do something so that the people will consider you as the great man, like Gandhiji, Tagore, Gopabandhu. Know your people and look out for their well-being. So when we are working in the organization, it is a question of collaboration, team building. So when we know each other, means we know our each other's problem. Your problem, when you discuss, we can discuss how can we settle down his problem. So everyone's problem is the organization problem. So therefore, we must discuss in a very consensus way, and then keep your people informed when things are going on, changing, or some new notifications may come, or government notifications may come. You let the sometimes the headmasters, in principal, they do not show, they do not disclose to the other teacher. No, it is very bad. For example, uh, some prizes or some notifications or some awards, you can participate. So therefore, it should be told by the. Similarly, another, develop a sense of responsibility in your people. Now, whenever you are giving, assigning some duty to the teachers, you must have confidence. Oh, he can do that. Then ensure that tasks are understood, supervised, and accomplished. So whatever tasks are given, because you have delegated power to other people, so this the activity, this the task assigned, whether the teacher is doing effective or not, whether the worker is doing or not, that you must follow. Train a team. So when you are giving the activities, so you must construct a team. You must build a team. Whether the team is working or not, how to do best, you must give training. Then use the full capabilities of your institution. Whatever facilities, whatever um, facilities are there in your school, maybe infrastructure facility, maybe instruction facility. Those facilities should be made available to all teachers. Must be used. For example, I'm giving in many high schools, even primary schools, there are many books which are not issued or not used. So that should not be. There are some learning materials they are not used in teaching. Even sometimes the laboratory, the science laboratory is there, very hardly used. No, we must be used properly. The next is what are the factors which make the leader a better leader? Factors of leadership. You can understand this, but I'm writing. There are four factors. What are the four factors? One is your follower. Every individual in the team must follow you. Follower, leader, you must have the ability to influence. Leader, communication, you can discuss the problems, or leaders always lead through the two-way communication. You can tell the two people who are in the group, or the people can talk to you. So two-way communication. Not it is not one man's dialogue. It is not one man show. So not monologue, dialogue. Situation, we all know that each situation elicits a different behavior. So unless the head knows that, unless the leader knows the situation under which the circumstances which makes the people like say like this, nothing will happen. So therefore, that is also a factor. Then there are different theories of leadership. Now, for example, great man theory. What is that great man theory? Great man theory assumes that the capacity for leadership is inherent. That means those who are born, they can be. This is an inborn quality. That great leaders are born, not made. Inborn. Trait theory. Some traits. Traits means some qualities like traits and skills, adaptable to situation, adjustment, alert to social environment, ambitious and achievement oriented. Always leader is ambitious, will do better, and will achieve more. Assertive, can defend. Cooperative, decisive, dependable. That because the leader is, cannot do everything himself or herself, so depend on the other colleagues. Dominant, desire to influence others. Energetic, uh, that is high activity level. Persistent, continuously doing. Self-confident, yes. Tolerant of stress. When you are doing something, there will be stress, but we cannot we must not stop the doing. So stress must be there, but we must think of how to overcome the stress and do the things. Then willingness to assume responsibility. Always we must be prepared to be responsible. Then skills, clever, intelligent, conceptual skill. Conceptual means you must know the new concepts. For example, uh, continuous comprehensive evaluation. For example, 5E model. For example, constructivism. These are the new concepts you must know. Creative, creating something new. Diplomatic. For example, uh, you somebody says something, don't immediately say yes or no. Let us see. So diplomatic is, let me see what can be done best. Instead of saying yes or no, if you say yes, if you don't do, then that man will get angry. If you say no, oh sir, straightly this headmaster said no. Better is, let me see what best can be done. That is diplomatic. Fluent in speaking, you must be communicative. Otherwise, nobody can. Hey, the key, what leader is unable to communicate. Then knowledgeable about group task. Though when the group is involved doing something, you must know who is doing what is the response given. Organize, administrative ability, organizing capacity, persuasive, convincing people, how to make them convince, social skill, cooperation, but that means you must be sociable like that. Another is your contingency theory, how the different things are. In contingent theory of leadership, the success of the leader is a function of various contingencies in the form of subordinate, task, and group variables. So these are working together. When All these means the task, the subordinate, many people, the junior, the subordinate task, activities, and variables, situations, all are working together. Then we can say that it is because of the leader. So therefore, another is your uh, fielders least preferred co-workers. So according to this theory, least preferred scoring for leaders is by asking them first to think of a person with which they work. That means other people will be asked with which people you can do better. So score one, that is to be given one, then second, third, fourth, like that. That is there you can understand. Then situation theory. Situation theories propose that leaders should choose the best course of action based upon situation variable. As the situation is varying, so you must accordingly. For example, if the school is morning in the summer vacation, you should be you should convince the teacher that because it is summer vacation, it is summer, not vacation, summer. So morning school. But in the winter, it must be day school. So situation varies. So therefore, another is your situational leadership theory by Hershey and Blanchard. So they have talked about directing leaders, coaching leaders, supporting leaders, delegating leaders. What is directing leaders? The directing leaders define the roles and tasks of the followers and supervise them closely. After doing the task, they are supervising. Then coaching leaders will define roles and tasks, but seeks ideas, suggestion from followers. So now you are asking those who are working, doing your teachers, how can you do best? Supporting leaders pass day-to-day decisions such as task. Every day you are giving new tasks to each teacher. Delegating leaders are still involved in decision making and problem solving. These are the different types of leaders. Then behavioral theory. As only should we continue or should we sum up? This is already okay. The behavioral theory on behavioral theorist leader